It won't be too loud. Don't worry. Not for these people. I don't think they'll appreciate it. And what? When you would see.
Work hard.
Is that you, Judy, or is that? Thank you.
It's a music surprise tonight.
It's me.
Whatever order they're in, we're doing.
It's not him. Leave it to me to lose my music. Maybe I gotta put it in order now. I'll start singing one thing. You guys are gonna sing another. How fun would that be? Oh, don't do this to the end, Amy. Okay. The thing is, do you think I'm in Northbrook? I'm Ian. Well, not anymore, but I am, of course. But yeah, sometimes after tourist days, we'll walk. David will pick me up and we'll take us. Down here, no, I didn't walk. I walked in Northbrook today. I don't know. I got it. Let there be. There belong to understanding Oh. Libby get married? Francine, did Libby get married? Well, Mazel Tov. Is it Adrian?
Very nice, Francisco. Everyone requires you all the time.
Look how I match.
You match perfect. I don't mind the disappear.
I am blessed.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good evening. Welcome. So, WhatsApp is a wonderful thing for so many reasons. It connects people with one another from across distances near and far. It gives people the opportunity to share simchas, to share challenges, to share grief, to share hope. And this past week, we have gone through all of these emotions where we have tried very hard to stay connected to one another, to support one another, to hope and to pray and to heal. And as part of this WhatsApp communication, there was a conversation about what can we do in this moment. Great uncertainty of countries at war with one another, missiles falling, people becoming displaced, hurt, killed. What can we do? Well, there's a lot that we can do, and this evening, what we can do together is to sing, to join our voices together and to offer our hearts and our souls to one another and to send that energy into the universe, hopefully to make a difference, to bring joy, certainly, comfort, absolutely, healing, yes, and to continue to build on hope and to energize ourselves to do the work that's necessary for ourselves and for our families, for our community, for our country, for our world together. And so I'd like to invite the members of our adult volunteer choir to join us, to join Cantor, to join Fred. They are going to be leading us in song, and if you are familiar, the first song that we're going to join in together is a song of strength. Adonai oz la'amo yitin, Adonai yivrech et amo v'shalom. May God grant us strength. May God grant us the greatest of blessings, the blessing of shalom, of wholeness, of well-being, and of peace. As we gather tonight, not only do we have the opportunity to welcome Shabbat together and to join our voices in song together, we have the opportunity to celebrate a milestone anniversary with Sally and Peter. So I invite you to come forward. Sally and Peter, it's hard to believe that it's been 45 years since you stood under the chuppah and pledged your love to one another. Many and varied have been those years, years filled with much blessing and joy and strength. And that blessing and that joy and that strength have helped you to meet the challenges that all of us must face in our lives together. Peter, you continue to bring music and joy into the world. And Sally, you continue to bring the brightness of your spirit and your love for one another. And it just radiates. And we are so blessed to be a part of this celebration. And though most of us, I'm not sure if any of us were actually there 45 years ago with you, but we are so privileged to be here standing with you now and asking God's blessing upon you. May God, who has blessed you through these 45 years, continue to bless you with health, with strength, with joy and happiness. But may this 46th year be just a taste of the wonderful years that are yet to come. May we be privileged to celebrate them together. And to this, let us all say, Amen. Kathy. Stay right here, stay right here, stay right here. So they have 10 years on us. So you asked who was going to do the blessing.
Yeah. I thought I was such a wreck.
I wouldn't do that to you. I might have done it to you. Maybe in years past I might have done it to you. What a blessing it has been to share these 35 years with you, this incredible journey that has included 3 different states, many different homes in that process, 4 children, 1 daughter-in-law, 2 grandchildren, and a dog. We can't forget Tali. She is, of course, the new favorite. Well, the grandchildren are first, and then Tali, and then maybe the rest of us.
Yeah.
We have been blessed in so many ways. We have been able to travel together, to celebrate together, and to bring comfort and strength to one another. And that is the best blessing of all. And I look forward to the next 35 years. Okay. May they be years of health and happiness, of strength, but may this 36th year, this double chai year of ours, be just a taste of the wonderful years that we will get to share together in health and in strength. And to this, let us all say, Amen, and Mazel Tov.
Okay.
And so, Peter, if you will, light the candles. And the candle blessing is on page 2 in our Siddur. And the blessing, the Kiddush, the blessing over the Sabbath wine, is on page 5. I think you just pull the trigger. They are trick candles, I forgot to tell you. But the reverse trick, instead of not going out, they don't get lit.
No worries, I got it.
Baruch
atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei b'ri hagafen l'chaim. Rabbi, we didn't do a Shelach either, so we're going to do it now.
Okay.
Well, everyone's funny with this. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
We continue with the Sabbath hymn, Lecha Dodi, page 20 in our Siddur. For those following in our larger volumes, page 138. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Hine Shabbat, Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Hine Shabbat, Kabbalat. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur Ishmi'anu el ha'yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, V'shemo tiferet v'li tehillah. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Hine Shabbat, Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Hine Shabbat, Kabbalat. Likrat Shabbat, Lechu v'lecha, Ki mekor ha'melacha, Merosh mikedem nisucha, Sof ma'aseh v'mashavad tehillah. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Hine Shabbat, Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Hine Shabbat, Kabbalat. Ohi v'shalom, ha'teret bala, Gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, Toch emunei am segula. Boi chala, boi chala. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Hine Shabbat, Kabbalat. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Hine Shabbat, Kabbalat. We continue with the Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 28, or in the thicker volumes, page 146. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. We continue on page 30 in the English together. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. We continue on page 34, Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'v'lechtecha v'aderech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kashartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chatavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem.
We continue together in the English on page 37. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. We continue with the words of the Song of the Sea, words of redemption that you can find on page 40 in your Siddur. Yai lai lai la la lai 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 lai, yai lai lai la lai 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 lai, yai lai la lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 la lai lai lai. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehar b'kodesh, norati ilot osei feleh, norati ilot osei feleh. Malchutecha uvanecha, bokei hayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'elianu v'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed. Adonai Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed.
Let's do ya la la.
Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 yai lai yai lai lai. Yai lai 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 yai lai 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 lai.
V'namar kivat Adonai et Yaakov ugealo miat chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo.
Ha'al Yisrael.
Amen. Those who keep Shabbat by calling it a delight will rejoice in your realm. Page 44, Yismechu.
Yismechu
V'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat.
Mikadeshe Shvi
Shabbat.
Kulam Isbehu Vidangu Mituvecha
Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat.
V'hashvi Ratzitabo V'kidashto
Shabbat.
V'temda Yamim Oto Karata
Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat.
Zecher L'maaseh Bereshit
Shabbat.
Zecher L'maaseh Bereshit
Shabbat Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malechutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat,
V'korei Oneg
Shabbat.
Get in the mood, get in the mood.
We continue our worship with the Amidah, beginning on page 46, continuing on 48 and on page 50. Please rise as you are able.
Adonai Sifatai Tiftach Ufi Yadi Tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula, Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo, be'ava, melech ozer umoshia umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, v'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, mechaye hakol atarav lehoshia. Morid hatal, mechalkel chayim b'chesed, mechaye hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim, verofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato lishenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, umido melach, melech memit umechayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, mechaye hakol.
I'd like to invite the members of our volunteer choir to come forward and invite you all to be seated as we take a few moments for the prayers not necessarily written in the pages of our Siddur, of our prayer book, but the prayers that we can each find written in our hearts in this moment of silent reflection. I invite you to turn to page 259. We have the opportunity to offer a prayer for the state and for the people of Israel. Shalu Shalom Yerushalayim, Yishlayu Ohavayich. Pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you prosper. We continue together at the bottom of the page. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. And let us say, Amen. So this week we have been praying especially for family and friends who have been caught in the crossfire of war. Jackie Lutz's brother, Jackie, who is safely in Amman, should be on a plane as we speak. And of course for Hadassah and your children who safely made the trip with lots of craziness in between, but thank God you're here and your children are at camp, their happy place and thriving, and just what a wonderful blessing that is. There is a tradition. We know the blessings for healing. There is also a blessing when you have passed through a particularly harrowing time. And Hadass, if you would, do you want to join me? If you turn to page 253, we have a blessing that's called Birkat HaGomel. And we have a version that's a bit abbreviated, and I'll ask Hadass to read the first part in the Hebrew, then in the English here and here, and then we'll respond in the English below where it says congregation response.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שגמלנו כל טוב.
Amen. May the one who has bestowed goodness upon us continue to bestow every goodness upon us forever. And to this we all say, Amen,
Amen.
and Amen. We know that there are many who are in need of healing, and I really would include all of us in this moment of tremendous anxiety and tension and confusion. All of us are experiencing an unmooring, an unhinging, a dislocation that we need healing, we need strength for. And we know also that there are people struggling with physical illness as well. And again, it may even be we ourselves who are struggling for that kind of healing. And for those who are participating in our digital sanctuary, we invite you to share the names of the people that you are thinking of, especially in this moment. And for those present here in the courtyard, if there are names that you wish to share out loud, I invite you to rise as you are able and share those names with all of us. Marv?
Ann and Jerry Litsky.
As a community, we are also thinking, especially in this moment, of Mike Byrne, Alan Terry Burke, Dee Bittman, Ron Cohen, Bela Burke, Sarara Korva, Nella Davis, Arlene Drucker, Lila and Aaron Eckel, Susie Fine, Barry Fidlow, Arnie Fishbane, Carol Fishbane, Quentin Goretsky, Jim Clapman, Asher Levin, Michelle Levy, Jerry Litsky, Samuel Maggot, Michael Meyer, Zisa Malka Batmir Lev Vipesel, Jim Mills, Rafi Ben Yechezkela Ubracha, Sivan, Ronald Rubin, Bill Salerno, Patricia Weinfuss, Mark Weiss, and Franklin Wolf. The Misha Berach Prayer for Healing will also be found on page 253.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
As I was thinking about tonight, I was trying to imagine what to share, and I wanted to share something that I have shared in various ways over the last number of weeks, and I think it is especially poignant in this moment, particularly as we have gathered together to welcome Shabbat and to draw strength from one another, to sing with one another, and how that has a cosmic rippling effect that really we cannot underestimate, that it is something that does have an effect. And I was thinking about music and song and thinking about the prayer that we sing in every worship service that is taken from that great song, the Song of the Sea. When our ancestors were able to successfully cross the Sea of Reeds, when they experienced that miracle of redemption, recognizing that at long last they truly were free, that the Egyptians that were chasing them down were no more, that they were no longer enslaved, that they had the opportunity to truly become a community of blessing. And yet they had a long way to go, a long path to travel. God says specifically that they were not taken by a short route or the most direct route. They were taken in a bit of a roundabout way to give them time to figure it out, to give them time to figure out how they can build community, how they can build relationships, how they can manage their own community without being told what they could do and what they couldn't do by another. And that was going to take time, and that there were going to be steps forward and steps backwards, but that it would take time for them to understand this, and that they would have success along the way. And that success was first demonstrated to them and by them at the shores of the sea. There's a midrash, and there are many midrashim about what exactly happened at the Sea of Reeds as the Israelites had escaped Egypt and thought they were home free, and are at the shore of the sea. And the sea is in front of them, and the Egyptians are running towards them with their chariots and their horses and their spears, and they thought this was it. And so there are many midrashim about how the events unfolded from there. What actually happened to allow the Israelites to cross that seemingly insurmountable obstacle, that huge body of water. And I learned recently of a beautiful midrash that connects the experience to the way the words are represented in the Torah scroll itself, right? The words of the Song of the Sea are differently displayed than the words in the rest of the Torah, right? In the Torah, the columns are very, very uniform, right and left justified, we would say today. But for the Song of the Sea, well, it is a single column. The words are layered, one on top of the other, phrase upon phrase. And so you have two columns and then one in the middle. And one of the ideas was that it was meant to represent the waves and the Sea of Reeds. Another was that it was to represent the bricks that they had to lay to build the cities, to build the buildings, the monuments to Pharaoh. But there's another more modern interpretation that looks at it in the following way. That the Israelites, when they were standing at the shore of the sea and they were screaming at Moses, "Why did you bring us here to die? Were there not enough graves in Egypt for you?" Right? And they're out of their minds with anxiety and fear and anger and frustration. And Moses turns to God. He says, "God, what do we do?" And God says, "Don't just stand there. Move forward." Right? Move forward. And I imagine Moses thinking in that moment, move forward. What could that possibly mean? Move forward. How are we going to move forward? There's a sea in front of us. None of us knows how to swim. Right? And the moving forward, actually, there were people who understood exactly what needed to be done. And so they started to form two rows facing each other. And they would walk into the sea. And there'd be a row of people here and a row of people here. And they linked their arms together. And then they transported the others across, rolling them across their arms until they got safely to the other side. And this happened time and time again until all the people who were at the shore had now been safely transported. So, of course, what happened next is that people at the shore who were standing there with their arms linked together, they were the next ones transported, and so on, until everyone was safely across the sea. So, with all due respect to Cecil B. DeMille, it wasn't necessarily the floodwaters parting in such a dramatic way. That, I think, would have been too easy. What was much more challenging, and anybody who's ever done a ropes course, this was a great team-building exercise of cooperation, of the Israelites getting that first sense of what it means to work together to overcome an obstacle, to meet a challenge head-on, and to do so successfully through working together as one. And I think that is perhaps the most powerful message that we can bring forward today, that the challenges are immense. The obstacles seem forbidding. And yet, it is up to us to learn how to work better together so that we can build a better world together, a world truly representing the promise that God made to our ancestors so many centuries ago, that we could become a community of blessing and that we could dwell together and truly know Shalom, wholeness, well-being, and peace. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will, may this be our will. Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Ti. We know that we don't have to do this all by ourselves. We know that we have the people that we love around us, our community that strengthens us. We also know that we have the wisdom and the values, the lessons, the teaching of those who came before us. And in this moment, as we remember them, I'd like to invite those who are participating in our digital sanctuary to share the names of those family members, friends, members of our community that they are especially remembering in this moment. And for those present here in our courtyard, if it is your custom to do so, I invite you to rise as I share the name of your loved one. We remember the recent passings of Randy Epstein, Kevin Heaps, Bobby Herzog, and Aaron Solon. And we remember the passing just this week of Barry Coleman, wife of Rusty, mother of Jocelyn and her Steve, Dina and her Barry, grandmother of David, Jessa, Eden, Seth, Ian, Lexi, and Cece. We also call into our hearts the countless civilians killed this week, caught in the crossfire of war and terror and violence. And we also remember the following whose art site occurred this past week: Marcel Aroff, Harriet Bauman, Elliot Berman, Joseph Breen, Judy Filler, Gerald Franks, Jacob Friedman, Kathy Fruman, Sylvia Goffin, Simon Greenberg, Florence Greenberg, Rabbi Morris Greenfield, Jay Hoff, Francis M. Cash, Ronald Kaufman, Blanche Corman, Mary Kuntz, Helen Lansner, Luba Lieberman, Cubby Livingston, Christine Lloyd, Ellen Lorch, Irving Lutka, David Major, Carl Malmed, Sheldon Miller, Frank Moyer, Paul Rubin, William Ross, Lillian Ruda, Peggy Rue, Carolyn Sachs, Helen Samuels, Mary Schlossman, Abraham Silver, Albert Smolish, Julie Sorkin, Elizabeth Betty Louise Sorkin, Edward Danny Stryker, Ralph Tomkowitz, Susan Ehrlich, Adeline Money Wallenstein, Tilly Weinberg, Jack Weinstein, Ronald Weinstein, Beryl Weisberg, Aaron Ronnie Wolf, and Sharon Zislis. Are there other names that we are remembering in this moment?
Byron Landau, Jonathan Friedman.
Zichronam Livracha. May the memory of the righteous always be for a blessing. Together as one family, I invite you to rise as you're able for Kaddish Yatom, page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, bi'alma divrach yirutei v'amlich malchutei, b'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei tekudsha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shmaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
V'imru.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen.
May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort to all who are bereaved among us. And together we say, Amen. Before you're seated, Gary, if you'll come forward, and also I'd like to invite back members of our dog choir to come forward as well. Please be seated.
So nobody's confused, I'm not part of the choir. Everybody would leave. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. And I'd like to thank the choir behind me and Fred and Rabbi and Cantor Amy for a beautiful service that you've led us through. And make a couple of announcements, please. We celebrated 2 anniversaries we heard earlier. Rabbi and Kathy, Mazel Tov on 35 years. Sally and Peter, I don't know you, but congratulations on 45. And Paul and Allison, who are not here, 25 years, all great, great accomplishments. A couple of very brief announcements. Shabbat dinner with friends will take place, celebrating our country at the same time, set on July 4th, 6:30 to 9 at Rabbi and Kathy's home. And if you would like to go, please register. And on 7/6, there is a Feed the Hungry program. It's in the weekly announcements, 9 o'clock, to help people. Shabbat Shalom, and thank you, choir.
Adonai os le'amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. May God continue to give us the strength that we need, and may God continue to grant us that blessing of shalom. Please rise and remain standing as you are able for our closing blessing. Blessed are we as we gather together to welcome Shabbat. Blessed may we from this time and always. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you. It's wonderful. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah, 35 years.